Have you ever heard a jet engine at full power, not soaring through the sky, but right there on the ground? It's an incredible sound. That procedure is called an engine run-up, and it's one of the most powerful and, frankly, one of the most critical moments in all of aircraft maintenance. But here's the thing. It's not just a routine check. It's a legally mandated procedure. It's the final, absolute checkpoint before a plane goes back into service. So today, we're going to dig into why this test is so crucial and what the law actually demands of that technician in the cockpit.
To really get a sense of the raw power we're dealing with, just listen to this. It's a real-world account from a NASA safety report. An entire aircraft with people inside was literally flipped over by the jet blast from another plane. A plane that was being run up by a maintenance crew. So yeah, this isn't just about making sure things work. It's about safely harnessing an immense, potentially destructive force on the ground, all to guarantee safety in the air.
And the stakes? They couldn't be higher. Get this. According to the FAA, a staggering 70% of engine power loss accidents could have been prevented. How? Well, through better training and through rigorous by-the-book procedures, just like the engine run-up. That number right there, that 70%, that is exactly why the procedure we're talking about today isn't just a best practice, it's an absolutely essential line of defense.
So what we have here is this dangerous but completely necessary test. The whole point of an engine run-up is to find any problems on the ground so they don't turn into catastrophic failures up in the sky. It really is that final verification. It's the last chance for a maintenance professional to put that engine through its paces and confirm it is absolutely ready to fly.
So what is an engine run-up exactly? Well, think of it as a final exam for the engine. It's a controlled test on the ground, where a qualified technician runs the engine according to a very precise script from the manufacturer. They're checking all the vital signs, oil pressure, temperature, RPMs, making sure everything is stable and operating exactly within limits before it gets cleared for takeoff.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. To understand why this test is so specific and so important, you have to grasp a core principle of aviation law. You see, an engine isn't just another part of the airplane. It actually has its own unique, independent identity.
And this is the crucial point right here. An aircraft engine is a certified product in its own right. It has its own type certificate, its own set of airworthiness standards, its own unique failure modes. It's literally a certified product inside another certified product. And believe me, that changes everything when it comes to maintenance.
This slide really lays out that separation perfectly. On one hand, you have the airframe certification, which is all about the plane's structure and aerodynamics. But on the other hand, you have engine certification, which is governed by really strict regulations. It's intensely focused just on the power plant, the ignition, the fuel systems, its ability to produce reliable power. So when a technician runs up an engine, they're verifying compliance with that very specific certification. And that brings us right to the heart of it all, the mechanic's non-negotiable legal obligation. This is the point where professional responsibility gets written into law. This is where you probably should do this becomes you absolutely must do this.
So where does this rule come from? In the United States, the foundation is in the Code of Federal Regulations, specifically Title 14, Section 43.15. This single rule is the bedrock that every licensed airframe and power plant mechanic lives by when they return an aircraft to service.
And the language here is crystal clear. It says the person signing off on the aircraft must run the aircraft engines. That word must, it's not a suggestion, it's a legal command. Skipping this step isn't just bad practice, it's a direct violation of federal law, and the mechanic is putting their entire license on the line.
So this legal duty, it really breaks down into 4 distinct actions. First, the mechanic has to find the correct manufacturer's procedure. Then, they have to operate the engine precisely to those standards. Third, and this is key, they have to know how to correctly interpret what all the gauges are telling them. And finally, they have to document everything. It's a complete, legally defined process, no shortcuts allowed.
Now you might be thinking, okay, so this is a US thing. But that's not the case at all. The principle of a post-maintenance engine run-up is recognized and enforced as a fundamental safety standard by aviation authorities all over the world.
Just look at this table. The alignment is incredible. Whether you're talking about the FAA in the US, EASA in Europe, or Transport Canada, the core requirements are the same. The run-up is mandatory, it's a required skill for licensing, and the consequences for not doing it are severe. We're talking everything from certificate action to a full license revocation. This is truly a global consensus on safety.
So, why are these rules so strict? Why are they universal?
Well, it really comes down to overcoming the human element. The regulations are there to enforce discipline, to act as a backstop against the common human errors that can, and do, lead to disaster.
In aviation safety circles, there's this concept called the Dirty Dozen. It's a list of 12 predictable human factor pitfalls that can cause maintenance errors, things like complacency, pressure, distraction. Well, a legally required standardized procedure, like an engine run-up, is a powerful tool designed to break the chain of events these factors can create.
Take a look at these factors. Each one is a direct threat, but the mandated run-up acts as a hard stop against them. Complacency? It's defeated by a test you have to do. Pressure to rush? It's countered by a legal requirement that you just can't skip. It's a system designed to be a safety net against our own human tendencies.
So here's what it all boils down to. When a maintenance technician signs their name in that logbook, they're not just filling out paperwork. They are making a promise. It's a personal, professional, and legally binding promise to the next pilot and to every single passenger that they have done their job, followed the law, and ensured that aircraft is safe to fly.
And that really brings us to our final thought. That signature in the logbook, it's a symbol of trust. It's a promise of safety. But what does that promise truly rely on? It relies on the skill, the diligence, and the personal integrity of the professional who, in that final, critical checkpoint on the ground, holds the lives of hundreds in their hands.